Welcome to April's Confident English Spotlight. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that in 2018, every month I'm interviewing or putting a spotlight on someone in our Speak Confident English community. And this month I'm interviewing Cida. Cida is originally from Brazil and moved to the United States a couple of years ago. So Cida, to get started, tell us a little bit about where you're from in Brazil and maybe something that you really miss about Brazil.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank you very much, Annemarie, for this opportunity of being here with you. And I come from the very south of Brazil. My hometown is Porto Alegre. And I am in Brasilia right now, working here. Brasilia is the capital of Brazil. And when I landed in Brasilia, I realized that I don't belong it anymore. It's not my place anymore, Brazil.
Wow.
So it's a very strong, very powerful feeling I had about it. And actually, I only miss my family and friends. About the country, there's nothing to be missed, I believe. And I just, maybe, I miss Brazilian food because it's quite good, but I cook a good one at home. That's it.
Yes, I can confirm that. So I got to meet Cida in February this year and had an amazing Brazilian dinner, Cida, at your home. And so I definitely agree. Brazilian food is pretty special. So I can imagine missing it a little bit. So you've moved to the United States. You moved 2 years ago, is that right?
About 2 years, yes.
Okay. And what is something that really surprised you about life in the United States?
It's a good question because I am very surprised about how fast I adapted with the American style of living, you know. It was very fast for me. And one thing is really good in America is the way that Americans do things. They do things in a simpler way. It's different from Brazil. In Brazil, everything is really complicated. And this way of living, the simpler way of living attracts me, really fascinates me.
Yeah.
And it's really good
Yeah.
to live in the United States. I love it.
That's so interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that it's a simpler way of life. That's very interesting to hear. So, but I'm glad to hear that.
It's interesting because I can give you an example. I admire the capacity or the characteristic in Americans that they don't see a problem as a problem. They see as a challenge, you know?
True. Yeah.
It affects me very much because it's totally different in Brazil. So as they see the problem as a challenge, they focus on the solution, not in the problem itself.
That's true. Very interesting observation.
Very good. It's a very good process of learning for me because my mindset is focused on the problem. Because we focus on the problem, not on the solution.
Yeah.
So it's really an amazing process of learning. And I love to learn everything. So it's really fascinates me. Yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. I really like that observation. I want to talk a little bit about your background because you actually have a very interesting, diverse professional background. You have sort of two sides to you. So I want to focus on side one first. You are an environmental lawyer and you've had your own practice. So tell us a little bit about why environmental law is important to you.
Oh, environmental law came into my life as a result of many changes that I was doing and I am still doing in my lifestyle, you know. So it is very important because for me, uh, it is really good to think about and to work for the planet and a better way of living, and how can we do good things for the future generations.
Yeah.
It is really important for me.
And what is it like to have your own practice?
Having my own practice for more than 30 years, it was like I had lived in a huge and awesome factory of learning, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, because I was and I am always learning about people,
Mm-hmm.
about how people work and how people make decisions in their lives. And I am always learning from them, from my clients, and I always confronting myself and the way I make my decisions with theirs. So with the way they make the decisions, their decisions really is a way of learning, you know, a process of learning. And this decision I made of being my own manager and the captain of my fate, it was I was made I made this decision when I was only 24 years old.
Wow. Wow.
2 years after I got my law degree. So I was very young, but I kept myself in that way, and there's no regrets.
Yeah.
It's amazing, yes. I am always learning.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good, yes.
Your attitude constantly inspires me. I love that focus on always learning and growing. I really appreciate it. So the other side of you that is interesting and completely different from your law background is you are also a certified aromatherapist. So tell me a little bit about what does it mean to be an aromatherapist? What do you do?
Yeah, aromatherapy is another side of my professional life, as you said, and it came into my life in a moment that I was in the highest level of stress
Mm-hmm.
that I have ever handled. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't handle more stress than I was. I was really ill by that time.
Yeah.
So I started to search about another possibilities, professional possibilities, and suddenly I discovered a new world, the
Hmm.
world of dance. And it was really amazing because I am learning, always learning a lot about aromas, about scents, and about their benefits
Mm-hmm.
on our for our lives and health. And I went to England for an entire year
Wow.
to study aromatherapy in English. Yes, it was
Amazing.
basically.
That's incredible. Do you have a favorite scent or a favorite
Oh
mist?
yes,
What is
yeah.
it?
The best one for me is Neroli because
Mhm.
it's the absolute of the orange flowers, no?
Mhm.
And lavender as well. Lavender is the
Okay.
mother of
Yeah.
plants, you
Abs-
know. So lavender is so delicate and so profound that
mhm.
it works very well in anyone, in any situation, and it promotes a really well-being always.
So, as we've talked about, you moved to the United States 2 years ago, and English has become essential in your life. Of course, you needed it when you lived in England studying aromatherapy, but now it is a daily part of your life. What do you think has been important to you in becoming more successful in English in your everyday life?
Hmm. First of all, to be your student because Yes, yes, that
Thank
is
you.
true because you really know how to teach and you do it with love. And it is very, very good. Very, very, very good.
Thank you.
At least for me. And I know that it's really wonderful to all of your students because you have the group on Facebook and we're always talking about it. And but one tool that is very interesting and powerful tool is the video recording practice. And when I started, it was a huge challenge for me. And now when I do the videos, when I make the videos and when I record the videos, I really am more, I'm doing it freely, you know. And fluency comes with time, you know, there's no magic. It's hard work, it's practice and time. And
Absolutely.
when you discover it, that fluency comes with time, when you realize it, that it is in that way, there's no magic.
Right.
So you start to really get this fluency because you know that's a question of time and work, of course.
Yeah. So I would love to know, there are always so many people who feel really stuck, who feel it's just not possible for them to become more confident in English or overcome their fears. They don't know how to do it. And they think maybe they're just not good at learning English. So knowing that you've had this amazing process and you've overcome fears, you've developed confidence and fluency, what advice do you have for someone who's just feeling stuck?
I would say come to fluency school and go beyond your limits. Because
Awesome.
in fluency school you have to go beyond our limits and
True. It's
you
true.
know the way to do it. You know exactly the strategy that works with any one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fact. I'm not just complimenting you, and it's not that case, but it's a fact. So we have to go beyond our limits
Mm-hmm.
all the time in life.
Yeah.
And English is this in English is the same. To go beyond, you know, to go furthermore than you can think you can go, that
Yeah.
you think you can go, because our mindset is changes when you start this
Absolutely.
process.
Absolutely.
I can feel it. My mindset changed because, of course, I was worried. I was thinking about our interview, but I said to myself, "Calm down. Everything's going to be fine. Okay, that's it."
Yeah, good. I love that. It really is a mindset change. I think it's a little bit like people who run marathons. They say it's more about your mentality and less about the physical activity of running to go to run for such a long period of time. And I think it's true for language. Absolutely. It's so often overcoming some of the blocks in our mind. So I really like that. I think that's really good advice.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yes, mindset is the main thing
Yeah.
that we have to change
Yeah.
to
I
get
love it.
everything we want.
Yeah, I love that. So my last question for today is, do you have a favorite word or expression in English?
I do have a favorite word. You know, it is serendipity. I love this word. I love the sound of this word. But I love the sound. I love the meaning as well, because it means when something happens unexpectedly, and it's a very fortunate thing that is happening
Right.
without an expectation. And
Yeah.
I love this thing in my life. I love to have unexpected, fortunate situations. I love it.
Yes.
So serendipity is my word in
I
English.
love that. It is a beautiful word. The sound of
It is.
serendipity is definitely a
Yeah,
beautiful word. So
it
I like
is.
that.
I love it.
Excellent. Well, Cida, thank you so much for joining me today. It was really fun to catch up with you and to see you again and to
Yes,
chat with you about your experience. So thank you very much. And thank you for being courageous, because it is a brave act to do an interview in English and share it publicly. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Annemarie. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much for giving me this time to talking to you and to say something about me. Thank you so
Yes,
much. I hope I can help someone.
yes. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. So thank you.